play Creon?
No, we have. There's only 3 characters in our party.
Oh, then you're okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
You got Piranha.
All right, hey, sit down if you're not performing. Wait, again, I'm gonna tell you this. We're just gonna do this one scene, it's a little bit longer. This scene and this scene summary, and then we're done, and the rest of the time is yours, okay? So, not to worry, I know you've been doing a lot of sitting and listening. We'll be done pretty soon, like I said, you can have the rest for a little relaxing time, okay? So now we've got scene 4 coming up on recording, and the big deal with this scene is, Haman and Creon, father, son, talk, okay? And in the beginning, things just start off okay, kind of smooth, but by the end, Haman's like, I hate you, Dad. So things are gonna go bad with that one, all right? This is a biggie. We've got this. So again, you're on your script. You're not doing a mirror of your cute face, believing you want to look super cute. You're on your script. You're on scene 4, right? Yes, nod your head, yes. All right, and introduce yourselves and get ready to read, people. Ian, who are you?
I'm Eden. I'm Haman.
You're Haman, the son. Okay. Sarah. Sarah, what part are
Okay,
you?
I'm Sarah. I'm also Haman.
Okay, so you're dividing up Haman. Okay.
I'm Bessie and I'm Creon.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Haran.
And I'm. Let's put it over.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah,
I
you can find it
am
on YouTube.
Paragos.
Actually, I post these on our stream and so if any of you are absent or you missed, like you didn't understand that scene, you can go back and watch these videos. And I have a YouTube channel, I don't know why, but whatever.
Should we all go subscribe?
Oh, but there's some creepy men that have comments in my videos of me talking about, I don't like that, so I didn't know about that. I'm going, I have to, like, ooh, that's not nice.
Yeah, we're gonna get views.
Pardon me? Oh, P.S. about, I started my Twitter up again for school purposes, so I'll share that later on. All right, scene 4, Paragos, you open it up.
But here's Haman, king, the last of all your sons. Is it grief for
Antigone. Yes, I know.
Is it grief for Antigone that brings him here, and bitterness at being robbed of his bride?
Oh, they're gonna get married, people. Enter Haman.
We shall soon see. There's no need of diviners.
Diviners, like people
Diviners.
predicting the future.
Son, you have heard my final judgment on that girl. Have you come here hating me? Or God come with defense with your love, whatever I do?
Now it's like with deference, these are kind of strange, with deference and with your love. Like deference is like, I respect you, I defer, whatever you want to say, okay? She's like, hey, do you hate me? Or are you gonna be another son? Yes.
Is it like normal for?
It's weird, right? Kind of strange. But again, the royal, like in monarchies and the royal families, of course, there was nice bigger population, but you kind of wanted to marry someone else who was royalty, right? Or the same social status class level. And there's not too many to choose from sometimes. So yeah, people did do that kind of thing. Not as bad as Oedipus though. That was, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I passed the line.
Oh, many lines. There's a lot to unpack there. Okay, so now here comes Haman.
I'm your son, father. You are my guide. You make things clear for me, and I obey you. No narratives, no hidden your continuing wisdom.
How nice. Haman's like, you're my father, and I'm gonna do whatever you say.
Good, that's the way to behave, subordinate. Everything else, my son, to your father's will. This is what a man prays for, that he may get sons attentive and didful in his house, each one hating his father's enemies, honoring his father's friends. But if his sons fail him, they turn out unprofitable. What else has he fathered but trouble for himself, an amusement for the malicious? So you are right, not to lose your head over this woman. Your pleasure with her would soon grow cold, Haman, and let you have a hellcat in bed in elsewhere. Let her find a husband in hell, Of all people in the city, only she has contempt for my law and broke it.
I'm gonna just pause you right there, that's you're doing a great job. So Haman's like, yeah, Dad, I'm gonna do whatever you say, Dad, I want you. Creon's like, excellent, that's how you should be, right? You should love my friends and you should hate my enemies, right? And you gotta make me look good too. And then he kind of says too, and you know what? I'm glad you're not losing your head over this girl, Antigone. Your pleasure with her would soon grow cold. You'd have a hellcat in bed and elsewhere. It's like, she's so headstrong and, kind of rebellious. She'd be a horrible wife. She'd be a bad wife. Let her find her husband in hell. Terrible, okay? Then, now Creon's gonna talk about his reputation. Okay, honey.
Do you want me to show myself weak before the people or to break my sworn word? No, I will not. The woman died. I suppose she'll plead family ties to the letter. If I permit my own family to rebel, how shall I earn the world's obedience? Show me the man who keeps his house in hand, each fit for the public authority.
Okay, just hold on 1 second here. And so that, put a little star by this speech too. This is a long thing that Creon's saying. But he's like, hey, and I can't be weak in front of the people, right? Right, son? Like, the world's gotta be obedient to me, or else I'm gonna seem weak, okay? Okay, keep going, honey. I'll have no dealings.
Oh, yeah. I'll have no dealings with lawbreakers, critics of the government. Whoever is chosen to govern shall be obeyed, must be obeyed in all things, great and small, just and unjust. O Haman, the man who knows how to obey, and that man only knows how to give commands when the time comes. You can depend on him no matter how fast the spears come. He's a good soldier, he'll stick it out. Anarchy, anarchy, show me the greater evil. This is what cities tumble and the greatest houses rain down. This is what scatters armies. No, no, good lives are made by discipline. We will keep the laws then, the lawmakers, and no women shall seduce us. If we must lose, let's lose a man at least. Is a woman stronger than we?
Whew, that's really good, Bessie. A lot to read. You guys, that is an excellent speech by Creon. Again, I would give that a big highlight or a big star by there because he gives lots of reasons. So if you had to say Antigone is guilty, he's got a lot there. People should obey the law, right? We need laws and lawmakers. We'd have discipline or else everything would be chaotic. Okay? So there's a lot of good reasons there. So I think that's a great part to highlight. Okay? Whoever's chosen to govern should be obeyed or else there's going to be chaos, right? We need that discipline. Okay? Karagos, it's time for you.
Unless time has rusted my wits, what you say, King, is said with point and dignity.
Father, reason is
A little
God's.
bit louder. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Phyllis.
Hi, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I borrow Brooke Nestle just for a quick sec?
Sure.
Thank you.
And then you guys, you gotta be really loud because we're recording. Oh my goodness, here. We're recording you too. We want to see you and hear you. Okay.
Father, reason is God's crowning gift to man. And you are right to warn me against losing mine. I cannot say I hope that I shall never want to say that you have reasoned badly. Yet there are other men who can reason too, and their opinions might be
A
helpful.
little bit louder, honey.
You are not in a position to know everything that people say or do or what they feel. Your temper terrifies them. Everyone will tell you only what you like to hear. But I, at any rate, can listen, and I have heard them, muttering and whispering in the dark about this girl. They say no woman has ever so unreasonably died so shameful a death for a generous act. She covered her brother's body. Is this
Indecent.
indecent? She kept him from dogs and vultures. Is this a crime? Death? She should have all the honor that we can give her. This is the way they talk out there in the city, Father.
Okay, we're gonna pause here. You can take a breath as well. You're doing a great job. Highlight Haman's speech here, okay? Highlight that because here's what Haman has to say. He's like, you know what? Dad, you're right. And thank you for that. But you know what? You're reasonable, but sometimes people make mistakes. And talk on the street is that some people think you might have made a mistake with this one. okay? He's like, you can't know everything, but, because your temper kind of scares people. And a lot of people will only tell you what you want to hear, right? But I listen and I can hear them muttering and whispering in the dark about this girl. Okay, he's like, I can hear people saying, and they're saying, hey, this is really awful that she's doing this generous thing, a generous act, and she's being killed for it. Is it bad that she covered her brother's body and kept him from dogs and vultures? Is that a crime? Death, she should have all the honor that we can give her. And he's not saying that. He's like, this is what I hear out there, Dad. So just I know you're reasonable. Be reasonable now and listen to this, okay? Because I think you might have made a mistake, okay? This is a talk in the city. This is a big deal. Okay, keep going, Haman.
You must believe me, nothing is closer to me than your happiness. What could be closer? Must not any son value his father's fortune as his father does his? But I beg you, do not be unchangeable. Do not believe that you can alone be right. The man who thinks that, the man who maintains that only he has the power to reason correctly, the gift to speak to soul. A man like that, when you know him, turns out empty. It is not reasonable never to yield to reason.
Okay, pause for a second. And again, he's like, Dad, don't be unchangeable. Don't be so stubborn, okay? Reasonable men know that sometimes they make mistakes. And you're so reasonable, Dad. Maybe this is one of those times you should think about it, okay? Okay? He's trying to come at this really nicely. All right.
In flood time, you can see how some trees bend, and because they bend, even their twigs are saved, while stubborn trees are torn up, roots and all. And the same thing happens in sailing. Make your sheet fast, never slacken, and over you go, head over heels and under. And there's your voyage.
Okay, I'm going to pause you right there. And he's saying some trees bend with the wind and the storms. They bend. And because they bend, they're more flexible, they don't break. The trees that are really stiff and stay still, they're going to break when something hits them. You know, I'm from San Francisco. There's been a lot of earthquakes there. It's now important that you have make them earthquake proof. They put these poles way under the ground that connect to the building. So when an earthquake hits, and I've been in many of them, the building will sway, but the foundation won't crack. Okay, if it doesn't have that ability to be flexible, it'll crack and it'll be ruined forever. Okay, so he's like, bend a little bit. Okay, keep going, honey.
Forget that you are angry. Let yourself be moved. I know that I am young, but please let me say this. The ideal condition would be, I admit, that men should be right by instinct. But since we are all too likely to go astray, the reasonable thing is to learn from those who can teach.
Okay, so he's kind of being nice. He's like, you know what, think about this. Think about it, Dad. Okay, Caragos.
You will do well to listen to him, King, if what he says is sensible. And you, Haman, must listen to your father. Both speak well.
Okay.
You consider it right for a man of my years and experience to go to school with a boy?
Ooh. Okay, Creon's like, wait a minute, Caragos. I'm experienced. You think I've got to learn something from this kid? This is not going to go well. Okay, Haman.
It is not right if I am wrong, but if I am young and right, what does my age matter?
Right?
You think it is right to stand up for anarchists?
Not at all. I pay no respect to criminals.
Then she is not a criminal,
The city proposes to teach me how to rule.
and the city proposes to teach me how to rule.
Who is it that's talking like a boy now?
Ooh, okay. So now they're kind of going a little back and forth, right? Because he's like, hey, I've got to learn from my kid. Are you kidding me? And Haman's like, hey, you know what? If I'm right, what difference does it make? Okay. And then Haman says back to his dad, who's talking like a little boy now? Uh-oh. These are some sassy youngins. Okay, Creon.
My voice is the one voice giving orders in this city.
It is no city if it takes orders from one voice.
Ooh.
The state is the king.
Yes, if the state is a desert.
This boy, it seems,
That's okay.
pause.
Yeah.
This boy, it seems, has sold out to a woman.
If you are a woman, my concern is only for you.
Okay, so Creon is getting defensive, you all. And he's just like, no, you've got to listen to me. And Haman's like, be careful. All right. You don't want to be the one man, like the only one understanding your rules. Be careful. And Creon's like, you know what? it's just because you love Antigone, right? Just because of a girl. And he's like, no, I'm not, unless you're the woman, that's what I'm concerned about, Dad, okay? Creon,
So your concern in a public brawl with your father?
a brawl is a fight.
How about you in a public brawl with justice?
Ooh,
With justice when all I do is within my rights?
You have no right to trample on God's rights.
okay, pause here, all right? Let's highlight that with justice when all I do is within my rights. And then highlight Haman's response. You have no right to trample on God's rights, okay? That's 29, the bottom. When Creon says with justice, when all I do is within my rights, okay? Hey, I am the king. It is my right to make these laws. And Haman says, but you have no right to trample on God's right. Again, someone else is saying, your law doesn't go above the God's law. And you're kind of playing God right now by saying he can't be big, okay? Creon is losing it. He's completely out of control.
Fool, adolescent fool, taken in by a woman.
You'll never see me taken in by anything vile.
Every word you say is for her.
And for you and for me and for the gods under the earth.
You'll never marry her while she lives.
Then she must die, but her death will cause another.
Well, pause. Her death will cause another. Oh, scratch your imaginary chin. If you had a beard, you could scratch pull on that too. But is that some foreshadowing? Haman's like, yeah, she's gonna die, but her death may cause another. Remember, folks, it's a tragedy. There's gonna be some dead people. Okay. All right, Creon?
Another? Have you lost your senses? Is this an open threat?
There's no threat in speaking to emptiness.
Ooh,
I swear you'll regret this superior tone of yours. You are the empty one.
If you were not my father, I'd say you were perverse.
You girl-stuck fool. Don't play at words with me.
I am sorry, you prefer silence.
No, by God, I swear by all the gods in heaven above us, you'll watch it. I swear you shall.
to the servants, he says.
Bring her out. Bring the woman out. Let her die before his eyes. Here, this instant, with her
Bridegroom?
bridegroom beside her.
Her bridegroom, it means kind of like her groom, right? Bride and bridegroom. So here's how crazy Creon's like, you know what? Not only is she gonna die, I'm bringing her out here and I'm gonna kill her right in front of you. Kind of sick, kind of sick, kind of sick. And again, he's really disregarding Haman. He keeps going back to like, Haman, you just saw about this girl. This is why you're saying it. And Haman's like, take me seriously. I care about you. I get it. You're upset with her. It's not about her. I care about you. And you're making a big mistake, bigger than just killing Antigone. It's gonna go further. All right. What does Haman say about that?
Not here, no, she will not die here, king, and you will never see my face again. Go on raving as long as you've a friend to endure you.
So exit Haman. He's like, I don't want to see you again. Okay, that conversation between father and son went south. Karagos. Gone.
Gone. Creon, a young man in a rage is dangerous.
Let him do, or dream to do, more than a man can. He shall not save these girls from death.
You have sentenced them both,
I will not kill the one whose hands are clean.
but Antigone,
I will carry her far away, out there in the wilderness, and lock her, living in a vault of stone. She shall have food, as the custom is, to absolve the state of her death. And there is a lot to pray to the gods of hell. There are her only gods. Perhaps she shall show her an escape from death, or she may learn though late, that pity shown the dead is pity in vain.
All right, one thing I want to tell you right away. So what is her sentence? Is he gonna kill her? Is Creon gonna kill her? Look at that last paragraph on page 31. Is he gonna kill her?
No,
What's he gonna do?
lock her.
Lock her up. He's gonna lock her up in the wilderness. She can live in this vault, this prison of stone, and they're feeding her. They're gonna bring her food. You know why?
So she does.
So she's like, this way it absolves. It means the state, the city state is not guilty of killing her. We'll keep her alive. We'll give her food, but she's gonna live out the rest of her days there. Kind of like life imprisonment, okay? So he's like, hey, I'm not killing her. City state's not killing her, but she can't have a life that she'd want to have, okay? All right, excellent job. Give them a hand, everybody. That was a lot of reading to do. Thank you so much. All right, we got one more scene summary and then we're gonna give you a break. Woo, woo. So let's get your scene summary for 4. I'll post it. I'll post it. How are you doing, lady? Good. Oh, Mr. Pike, I've got to remind. Or if you want to wait till it's more fresh. Yes. I'm going to try to find it. I will. Sorry. All right, refresh, you cute things. Refresh, refresh, and you'll find scene summary 4. Refresh, refresh, and you'll find scene summary 4. You gotta refresh. Oh, I just forgot. Remember, I'm videotaping myself.
It's gonna be a whole musical. If you guys want to stop.
Refresh, refresh. Who told me to be quiet? Oh, that hurts my feelings so much. Oh, okay.
Are you trying to tell her to be quiet?
Poor Sarah, leave her alone.
I'm joking, bro. Yeah. 6 for 6, Ari.
What about Steph Curry? Oh, I'm sorry, but I cannot because he's amazing. Sorry to hurt your feelings, my love, but kind of. Haran, you know how I don't want to fight with you. I love you.
Is he the best shooter of all time?
Mute myself. Good God. I hope I wasn't muted this whole time. Yikers, schmikers. All right. Woo.
Back for like another 5 to 10-ish minutes, and then we are done for the day. Come on, guys, final stretch. Here we go.
I am working up a 3D enhanced sweat. I can't believe it. All right. So we got to summarize this scene. What happens in the scene? That wasn't on tape, thank goodness. You will. Oh, it's gonna talk. I'm losing it, people. Oh my goodness. Haman goes to Daddy Creon and says, "Don't kill my lady." All right. So that's what happens. Haman goes to Daddy Creon and says, "Don't kill my lady." And what's his daddy? Okay. So Haman, because Haman's his son. And at first, what? At first, Haman and Creon are getting along. Right? All right. Right? Someone say right. I know. Well, you know me. I thought about doing improv once before. Okay. All right. Then we got a lot of stuff on page 25. Well, we'll do that at the bottom part, I guess. Can we scroll, you all? Can we scroll to the bottom? Just this part? So I want to give us some evidence while I'm rolling around here. Page 25 to 26. Creon gives a lot of good reasons why Antigone is guilty. need to obey laws or else there is chaos. Right? People should obey laws. I just said that again, I guess, right? All right. So that's just important. We want to know that page 25 to 26, if we're writing about why Antigone is guilty, there's some good stuff there, Shane. All right. And then we also know that on page 26 to 27, Haman has a lot of advice for Creon. This is the bottom part, the bottom half of this, right? Okay. He says word on the street is that Creon's law is harsh. He wants his dad to be reasonable and listen to some good advice. Okay. And that's a lot of good stuff on there, right? He's like, Dad, you need to bend. Be flexible, sweet Papa. Come on now, okay? All right. Sweet Papa. Bessie, do you want me to call you Sweet Papa? Do you want that for your next one? Yeah, actually, I kind of have to say that would be a little bit gross. I unfortunately, but I would love, maybe tonight I'll go home and call my husband Sweet Papa and see what he says. Hey, Sweet Papa, buy me a pizza. No. All right. He says, all right. Okay, so Haman says, word on the street is that Creon's law is harsh. He wants his dad to be reasonable and listen to some good advice. He says people are afraid to tell Creon the truth. Hashtag facts, Creon. Okay. Sweet Papa. Now you're being salty, Papa. All right. Right. Okay, now let's scrolling up. At first, Haman and Creon getting along. All right. Then Haman, this is the top part, tries to give Sweet Papa some advice, and Sweet Papa turns into Salty Daddy. Okay? He's pissed, right? All right. Things get bad, right? The Caragos is like, hey, Creon, maybe you should learn from your son. And he's like, what? Me learn from a boy? Have you not seen I'm the king? I'm the head guy. This kid? Salty Daddy. Are you a Sweet Papa? Maybe Vessie's Sweet Papa and someone else next to him is Salty Daddy. Okay. 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 Creon keeps saying that Haman is just saying stuff because he loves Antigone. Okay. And that's kind of demeaning. Haman. Okay. Haman cheese. No, Haman. Yeah, Creon keeps saying that Haman is just saying stuff because he loves Antigone. But Haman is trying to watch out for his dad. For Salty Daddy. Yeah, okay. All right. And they start yelling. Okay, how does this scene end? What happens at the end? Yes. He's gonna lock her up a beef. Yeah. Let's before that though. What does he say? They're fighting, and what does he have a suggestion? Go Ike, go Ike.
You said that tell them to bring out Antigone to like kill her in front of the sun.
That's sick. Creon, yes,
I have a question for your class.
come on in.
Is anyone looking to run the clock for basketball?
Me, wait. Do I get money?
Yeah, you'll get paid.
How much?
No, he likes LeBron, he doesn't.
Bro, I heard it was.
Wait for what?
Oh my God, Haran, this is not the time to haggle. Do you know how to run the clock?
It's lower levels. JV and varsity's covered. Everyone else needs.
Haran, you can make some winky wink at the ladies that are playing your age.
I mean, I can say the penny game, but this is not a time that
You want a game?
Haran, why would they be? This is being taped, Haran, for posterity. Yeah. Haran, you're now salty, daddy. Go, Haran and Keon, go out with these ladies and figure this out. She has no power. Keon, are you interested, honey? Okay.
Bro.
Oh my God, Haran. Yeah, talk to Mr. Archer.
Yeah. Archie needs to know like now. So if you want it, you gotta tell me.
Oh my God, Haran. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, where's the impression box?
What's minimum?
All right. All right, so Priyan is so salty that he says, bring out Antigone and let's kill her in front of my sassy son. How sick is that? Okay, and then, but what does Haman say? Does Haman stick around? Haman's like, I'm out of here. You're never going to see me again, Dad. Haman leaves. Doesn't want to see him ever again. Okay, now Sarah, what's the penalty for Antigone? Creon. This is the summary. That's all right. Yeah, it's all right if you're confused with them. It doesn't matter. All right. Hey, stay with me. Oopsies. Stay with me here. So here's what we got going on here. You know what? I got, okay, the 6 bullet points we're kind of all over the place here. But we've got a lot of stuff. This is a big scene, right? We've got Haman going there. They get along. He tries to give his dad some advice. His dad's like, oh, no, you don't. Yes, Sky. I will scroll down in a minute. Okay. Creon keeps kind of negating Haman's thoughts. Haman's like, I'm doing this for you, Dad. Be reasonable. Listen to reason. And Creon's like, you're just lovesick, you young punk. That's it. And so finally he says, and they have some words, right? And then finally Creon's so mad, he's like, let's bring out the girl and kill her in front of her fiance. Haman says, don't even bother. I'm leaving. I never want to see you again, ever. Okay. Then Creon decides, you know what? Here's what we're going to do to Antigone. Because he's worried, remember? Haman did tell him, word on the street. Shh. Word on the street is people think this law is a little too harsh, Dad. Like, what did she really do wrong? Okay. Not that wrong to bury her brother. She wants to honor him. All right. So Creon's kind of like, okay, I don't want people bad mouthing me. I won't kill her, but she's got to be locked away forever. I'll feed her. I'm not going to kill her. No one can blame me for that. She's not going to be dead, but she's forever in prison. Okay. Hi, Carly. All right. And then we've got the big stuff for this. The big important stuff that I want you to know. So forget the 6 bullet points. I'm not going to be upset. The 2 big things are those 2 speeches. Shh. Hey, stay with me for a minute. My head's hurting. 2 speeches. Creon's big speech. This is why Antigone is guilty. Haman's speech, giving some advice. Hey, shush. Haman's also telling his dad on these pages that, guess what? People think you're wrong. Okay, Dad? People think you're wrong. All right? This is all we've got for this. Turn this in. Turn in scene 4. You are done for the day. You're welcome. Okay, so you're done for the day. Thank you for being so awesome. We're done, baby, done. This has been quite a Friday, okay? See y'all later. Alita, you want to say you're done? Nobody's online there, but this will be on the YouTube channel.
You guys are lame.
Oh, wow. No, you're not lame. Bye.